All right. Good afternoon, good evening, everyone. So everybody's from India, so I would say good evening. I could see we have Kastav, we have Rishi, Rahul, and Kastav have joined from two phones, so he's two times. Akash Nandi is there as well. Akash, I want to acknowledge. I got your message about Madam. There is this date thing, 16th and 17th of May. So thank you very much, and I acknowledged it. Yes, and we also have Deborati. Deborati, I saw your video this morning. It is really very inspiring, and your business idea is really impressive. And yeah, that is the reason you're here. That is the reason you have been confirmed for this program. Uh, let's see who all are there. So only five students are there. Uh,
Thank you, ma'am.
who's there? Deborati is there. Are you saying something, Deborati?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. All right, fine. Cool. So I'm not going to take much of my time because we have Gurmit today. She's your mentor. She's going to give you the training about growth mindset learner you. So it is the first week. We have Marketa, of course, right here with us, and she's gonna tell you more about the course and how this program is going to go ahead. Guys, please turn on your camera because this is going to be two-way communication. You would have to speak to Gumit, Marketa, answer. You can ask questions if you have any questions. You can raise your hand. So this is basically for you. Uh, like we always say, in a safer environment, nobody will be sharing this anywhere else. So please be sure about it. Cool. So please turn on your camera. You can unmute yourself whenever you want. I am still waiting for more people to join in. One question. Are you guys getting my emails, my reminders, my emails? Are they all good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you have any feedback about it? Like we should maybe give you more reminders or maybe we should less it or any sort of feedbacks.
Neutral.
Okay. Rishi says neutral. And did you get this WhatsApp group? Did you join this?
Ma'am, I didn't.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Deborti did, Akash did. Rahul, Rishi, Kostav, you have to join our WhatsApp group. I'm going to send the link in the chat box right now. And now I will hand it over to Marketa. Marketa, please introduce about the course.
Thank you. Okay. Hi, Devarati. Thank you so much for being there. Hi, Rishi. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback. I appreciate your honesty. Hi, Rahul. Very nice to meet you. Such a pleasure. Akash, Kaustav, please feel very comfortable using your camera. You will not be judged, you know. And also, please, just I can show you my office. See, it's a very simple space, nothing really here to pretend, that, this is just another academic course, we are here rather as colleagues, we speak about future of work. So you really want you to understand us, as I said, as your teammates, as your colleagues. We might be slightly older, we may have maybe some experience in some things, and you probably have some experience in others, and we are here to learn from each other and connect. So of course, I want you to take us very seriously, but at the same time, no need to call us madam, please. Again, it's I appreciate that you are being professional and formal, but also it makes us feel very old and irrelevant in some way. So feel free to again just call us by our name, Gunjan, Gimet, Marketa. We are very, very happy that you are with us, and looking forward, hopefully, to provide some value to you. We have both went ourselves through many different experiences in lives, whether it was startup, whether it was a corporate environment, whether it was building businesses ourselves. So it will be our pleasure to share those experiences with you, and we truly hope you will benefit from it. If not, you can always advise us how to do things better. We are super open to your ideas, feedbacks, and input, so please don't ever shy away from it. You will not be judged for giving a negative feedback. It's more about being constructive. So that's just that. So as Gunjan said, this is a safe environment. We will not share this content with anybody unless you permit, without checking with you first. So it's about, discussing, learning from each other, growing with each other. So very quickly, because I don't want to steal time from Gwimet, but I just want to tell you, as free, I want you to feel this program will have some structure. Next 5 weeks, it's a bit more individual work. After that, we will work more in teams. So now just so you kind of get into that habit of that personal growth / professional growth, what it is about. There are lots of coaches, gurus out there, proclaiming, they have the right answers for you. And, maybe some of them can be inspiration to some extent, but here we are still part of higher education. We are still part of some, as I said, control environment with certain standards. So we will follow them. And there will be some activities that we would love you to participate in. Again, it's not strict, it's at the end, it's something you're doing for yourself. So you will not be again judged or considered as failure. It will be a lot about you saying, okay, I see that I feel I'm in some aspect of my growth 4 out of 10, and I want to be 6 out of 10, so it's how you perceive your development that matters, really. It's what you find as success, what is important to you, that is what matters. The way we do it, we love to refer to ourselves as community of learners, educators, entrepreneurs. We hope to be like-minded people. That's why we are so grateful that you are with us, because there is nothing that we can achieve in life alone. Nothing, no business, no idea can happen into can be materialized unless we do it together with someone else, unless we find those followers, those co-workers, co-creators, So this is exactly what we are here trying to do, just create this movement of people that will help other people to grow. And even if we helped one person, our effort was worth it. So just always focus on that one little thing. Here, I absolutely adore this woman. Her name is Hannah Critchlow. You can Google her. It's a scientist. She focuses mainly on neuroscience. I believe she teaches at Cambridge University. She is an absolute rock star in terms of explaining how how, thanks to all the mapping that this new technology allows in terms of our brains, how that can help us understand better how humans are changing because of technology, and how if we work together we can achieve bigger things. So I really recommend Hannah Critchlow, Joined Up Thinking. Absolutely fascinating book. Why I'm referring to it, she claims that we are now almost, because of all this technology, social media, all these possibilities that are out there, we are able to actually create a whole new culture that supersedes our genes. So you may think, oh, I come from this country, I come from that country, I have this background, that background. But because of social media, because of technology, we are so connected, it's almost as if we are creating our own culture together. So creating this new culture, aka a super brain, it's something that it's pretty cool objective to have, because that means whatever we as a team set up our mind at, we will be able to achieve it, because we will have this community of people who will support us in our efforts. Now, all big talk, how to now break it into small things so that we can start measuring our progress bit by bit. You may have, anybody of you met my colleague Supriyo Chowdhury at Kolkata?
Yes, ma'am.
Rishi, yes?
Yes,
Okay, cool. Kaustaf, you met Supriyo? Yes? Hi, Anvesha. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining.
And
Um,
Sudeshna ma'am also.
Sudeshna, okay, brilliant, brilliant. So you have probably already heard this concept of those 5 dimensions of you. Today we want to spend more time focusing on growth mindset. I again don't want to be stealing time from women, but just to start to set our mind at we starting with growth mindset, because first and foremost, no matter what capabilities you will be growing, you need to start by acknowledging that you will have to learn for the rest of your life. It's that sort of lifelong learning concept. And the growth mindset as a term has been coined by Carol Dweck. Again, you can Google. I'm not going to get into that. But I want you to just remember that no matter what activity you will choose to do to help you reach your goal, whatever goal that is that matters to you, and whatever habit you will be trying to develop alongside it to help you achieve that goal, there are 4 ways how to make sure it will get done. The first thing is just to start thinking about it. So the fact that you already thought about it, the fact that, okay, I acknowledge that, okay, the concept of me learning, being sort of humble that I don't know everything and I will be basically wrong most of the time. And that concept, just thinking about it, just acknowledging it, that's how what it starts with. The next thing, you will have to start doing something about it, right? So you may, as I said, you may have to choose an activity and say, okay, so if I call myself a lifelong learner, so how does it show them that I'm really learning? So maybe I will have that habit that I will read every day. Some, let's say I'm studying cybersecurity, so I will learn every day about what is the new bug out there today, as for today, and I will sort of make note of it, right? So suddenly I'm doing something about it as well. Now it's still not yet a capability. I've just thought about it. I have now started doing something about it. Okay, next thing, I have to actually connect with someone else as well, involve someone else, maybe connect with somebody. Let's say again, cybersecurity, I should connect to someone who's also in cybersecurity and talk to them, discuss about them. Just me trying to, whether you, some of you maybe have a gym buddy, right? So the same thing in cybersecurity, you need to have that cybersecurity person that you may look up to, or someone you work with. So you thought about it, you started doing something about it, you connected to someone else to help you sort of get into that habit and have that somebody to relate to. And last but not least, you started living it. So suddenly, like, you can see, okay, if this is happening, I'm now actually doing it. It's something that I can start seeing a change. And now I know that using that same technique, I can actually inspire other people to do it, because I became that person. I became that cybersecurity expert in a true sense, because having a skill of understanding how to debug a system does not necessarily make you a successful cybersecurity expert. That you only will be if other people will acknowledge you as such, if you will be able to teach someone else, or at least convey or help someone else achieve what you have done, at least a little bit. So yeah, so this is the way I would love if you, every time you're trying to develop a capability, thought about it, that it needs a little bit more exercise, same as if you're developing a muscle in the gym and trying to get your hands or legs stronger. The same way, you're developing a habit, you will need to get your brain more used to that. Everything clear? Does it make sense? It does not make sense? Any feedbacks, any questions? Please, you can also use a chat window for that. Otherwise, I will pass. Thank you, Rishi. Much appreciated. Sure, Rishi, if you call me madam, I will have to call you sir. So you tell me if you want me to call you sir. I will.
As you wish, ma'am.
Okay, sir. Okay, Gwimet, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. I am just sharing my slides. Let me know if you can see them well.
Yes, we can see them good.
Oh, wonderful. Great. So I can't see you guys, but you can see me. So please don't hesitate to unmute yourself and let me know if you want me to slow down, clarify anything. That way we can have a very interactive session. So let's get into the action of today's growth mindset session. As Marketa was saying, and as Gunjan was saying, this is not an academic session. We're not here to accumulate more information, but we're here to put these skills into practice. So I put a disclaimer before we start. We're not here to accumulate data. You can have access to all this information online. We're creating this space to go outside our comfort zones, to practice and to engage. This is how we learn, actually. It's not just by accumulating information that we tend to have a lot of nowadays with the internet and social media, etc. So keep that in mind. You all know the 5 capabilities, so we are not going to describe them in depth. But as you know, growth mindset is the first of the 5 capabilities. And it consists in how you learn and how you grow as a person. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the mechanics of how fixed versus growth mindset works. And we're going together to identify where you have a fixed mindset and how you can identify your growth mindset, your potential to continuously grow until your last breath. We're not here just to learn because you're university students, but the idea is really to develop a capacity to grow every single day of your lives. So, developing a growth mindset is first and foremost about overcoming fixed mindsets. And I really like this metaphor of a tree because a tree is constantly growing, creating new networks, new links, and always expanding. So it's a very good metaphor for the idea of a growth mindset. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail with that in a second. Remember last week? Was anyone not here last week? You were all here last week? One, yeah, sorry,
I
weren't
saw the
here.
recorded video.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I'm going to go over what we saw last week, but last week I asked all of you to start thinking about what success meant to you. And we're going to go a little bit deeper with this activity, just because before we grow and we decide we want to have a growth mindset, it's good to have a general idea of what direction we want to grow in, right? So let's start by creating for each and every one of you a powerful internal representation of what success means to you. So at the beginning of the year, sometimes we have New Year's resolutions. I don't know if you guys do New Year's resolutions, but maybe for 2024, for this year, each and every one of you has an idea of what a successful 2024 would look like. So please grab your pen and grab your paper or a Post-it or anything you have to take notes. And take 1 minute to think about what is your big vision for 2024. When will be the last day of 2024? What will a successful year look like to you? So you can have a big goal for you that's very important this year, and you can break it down into smaller sub goals. So I'll let you have a few seconds to clarify that. Wonderful. So now looking a bit further down the line, in 5 years from now, so imagine we're in May 2029, right? What would success look like to you in 5 years from now? So it's going to be, of course, less specific than 2024. So here you might just think about your big vision. Where would I dream of being in 5 years from now. So you can just have some keywords, a bigger dream, and you don't have to get too much in the details with this one. Take a few seconds to write down your big vision for 2029. Most of you will probably be out of university in 5 years if you're studying right now. And now my favorite. It sounds a bit creepy on the screen, but imagine you've had a very long and fulfilling life, and you are ready to move on and to pass away. And you're looking back at your entire life that was so full of joy, successful, and fulfilling. Basically, you're on your deathbed, but you're so happy and ready to, move on. You've had a wonderful experience living this life. So I know this is a big question, and we're just doing it quickly here. But if you can take a few seconds and picture yourself at the way end of your life, looking back, what would a meaningful life mean to you from this perspective? When you have no more material attachment, no more of the, daily things that might be stressing you right now. Maybe when you'll be 99 and ready to die, you won't be like, oh, I had a successful life because I got my degree with a good grade. Maybe that won't be so meaningful when you'll be in your 90s. So from that older perspective, what does success really mean? Now, I know those are some deep questions, and you can, of course, spend more time to introspect, to really go deeper with these questions, which you can also, it's not because you have a vision of success today that it can't change in 6 months. It's always good to have a clear vision of success, but it can change. It's just good to have an idea of where you're going. So we've had 3 definitions of success for each and every one of you. Can I have a few people telling me their keyword for 2024, their keyword for 2029, and their keyword for their deathbed lifetime vision? You don't have to go in the details, but you can just say the 3 keywords for success for you. So you can volunteer. Who would like to share their findings? Yes, please, Akshar.
So I sort of just came up with these 3 to 4 simple words: more research, more depth, more communication, more perfection, leading to more success. This is my definition for 2024.
Wonderful. Very inspiring. Thank you for sharing. Did you want to share your other visions, or were they a little bit less clear for you?
They were sort of less clear for me, especially the retro vision from your deathbed, because the definition of successful life is, I'm not very sure how, I mean, how will I be defining it in terms maybe from 30, 40 years from now, or how will I be defining it right now? So that was quite a deep question, I believe.
Yeah. Yes, it's a tough one to do in 30 seconds. I have to I have to admit that, but it is indeed a very powerful question, and that we can never answer today because we will never know how it feels to be on our deathbed. We can only imagine what will really matter at the end of the day, but it does require a bit of introspection. Thank you so much for sharing. I have another hands up. Rahul, please unmute yourself.
Hello, teachers. So for 2024, I would like to learn some social skills, and I wanted a rating of 1200 on Coursera. It's a competitive programming platform. For 2029, I would like to apply for a job in applied statistics, or I will either join a PhD program or a startup. And for my deathbed, I would like to start a family and run it with satisfied members, all of them, who do not have any financial shortcomings. So that's
Who do not have any what?
who do not have any financial shortcomings, like they are not devoid of any money. They are
Wonderful.
financially stable.
That's very good. You focused on not having shortcomings rather than on just accumulating. Very good. Those are some very specific goals, and see how the short-term goals and then the lifelong goals are, you have different visions of success depending on, the time frame of your life that you're looking at. Very good. Thank you for sharing. Do we have one last volunteer? No. Okay, very good. Let's move on. Oh, yes, please. Rishi, go ahead.
So for 2024, I have a sub goal like increasing communication skills, and for vision of next 5 year is my big vision, which will be cracking cat, and keyword will be discipline. That's it.
The keyword is discipline. That's a good one. So we're going to actually go a bit more in depth with the idea of discipline when we're going to be talking about growth mindset. Great. So the idea with growth mindset is really about coaching yourself to be successful according to your vision of success. So we saw with our 3 speakers right now that each and everyone has their own vision of success. So we're not going to try and define success. One thing that might be really meaningful and important for me might not be for you, and vice versa. So trying to define what a successful life is not what we're trying to do. We each want to be clear with our goals, what matters to us, and then strive to become better and to nourish these goals. So seeing success as growth is really key. And we don't want to see it as an end result, as in, when I'll get my degree, then I'll be happy. Or when I'll have a big house and a family, then I'll be happy. Because success is always an ongoing nourishment of your goals and always refining your ideals. So this is why I like going back to that tree metaphor. The tree is always growing deeper in its roots and always growing higher towards the sky. So when you imagine your growth, don't think, I'm going to achieve this goal and then I'll be successful. Because as humans and as trees also, they have this thing in common, that we're always growing. And we have a tendency, when we're kids, we have a tendency to learn so much. We're learning how to read, how to write, how to walk, how to eat, how to talk. And we're learning so much every day. And the older we get, the more we get settled into this routine. So you as students, you're still learning, you're still very active, but you'll see once you get a job, you'll start repeating the same tasks every day, then you get into a routine. And sometimes in 30 years of your life, you'll have grown less than in 2 years of your life as a baby. And the idea is to keep this baby mindset of always being curious, learning, being new and open to new activities, to new concepts, to new ideas. So no matter what success means to you, it's all a question of mindset and accountability. Are you showing up, each and every one of you here in this room, every single day to reach your goals and your vision of success? Are you creating the reality that you want? The tree, if you put the tree in a bad soil, it's not going to blame the soil or going to blame, the environment. It's going to do the best that it can with the resources it has to grow. And we have, so many examples of trees that are growing on cliffs where there's no soil, etc. So for us, it's the same thing. Life is not always fair or even. We all grow up in different environments, and growth mindset is about doing the best that you can with the ingredients at hand and creating this environment of success for yourself. So focus on the process rather than getting a thing, obtaining my degree, buying a house, etc. What you get is a direct reflection of what you put in. It's always a process. So when we talk about growth mindset, there's 2 powerful forces in the human experience. There's safety, and then there's growth. Growth is what is propelling us forward, making, of course, us grow, but it's also pushing us into new and uncomfortable territory, while safety is our instinct to stay alive and to stay in our comfort zone. So growth is what is bringing us into the unfamiliar, into possible danger, while safety is very important and necessary. And when we work on our growth mindset, we're not saying we want to constantly be in an anxious state, always, putting ourselves at risk. And it's really about finding this balance. But we all have a tendency, when we look at the human population at large, to rather go in favor of the safe side rather than the growth side, which is why we're talking about this as a capability to develop today. So fixed mindsets are when we believe, and we all have fixed mindsets in different areas of our lives, when you believe that you're born with a certain skill or not, when you seek validation. And these fixed mindsets aren't us being dishonest or evil, but they're really governed by fear. We feel that we cannot manage or excel at a skill because we think we're born with this inability. So some people say, I'm bad at math. Some people say, I have a bad relationship with my father. Some people say, I'm not a creative person. All of these are examples of having a fixed mindset. We think a situation is determined and blocked, and that it's beyond our control, beyond anything we can do. Growth mindset, on the other hand, is taking the exact same area of your life and believing that talent and skill come through effort. Maybe math is not my favorite subject, but I'm going to dedicate 20 minutes a day to try a new exercise from my math book, for example. Maybe I don't have a great relationship with my father, but I'm going to call my father every week to see how he's doing and build a better relationship. Those are just examples of developing that growth mindset where we could have once had fixed mindsets. So here in growth mindset, the focus is on developing yourself. So first and foremost, now that you each have your idea of success, let's take a step back and go more into the daily grind and in the uncomfortable aspects of our lives and identify in what areas of your life you are thinking small. I just gave 3 examples from the top of our mind, but we all have very specific areas in our lives where we feel like we're inadequate, incompetent, we're not as good as others. Those can be relational, intellectual, social, cultural, anything. It can be your health. You can be like, I don't have a very good health. This is a fixed mindset. I'm not very good at running. That's a fixed mindset. I've grown up in a very underprivileged environment. That's also a fixed mindset. So where do you feel like developing your potential is not an option and you are stuck? Or where do you feel in your life that putting an effort might be a waste of time because you're doomed to stay in that fixed area? So there are questions that can help you identify your fixed mindset. So take your pen and paper, and you don't have to answer all of these questions, but you can write them all down and introspect a little bit more later. Where in your life do you tend to get frustrated? Is there an aspect of your life that you're constantly frustrated about? It can be your friendships, it can be your family, it can be your technical skills. Where do you complain about your situation? Where can't you let go of a negative emotion? So you can see the first 3 are very similar. Where do you repeat the same negative cycle? Do you tend to always be late or always miss a meeting? Or do you tend to always eat junk food when you promised yourself you'd have a healthy diet? Where do you truly hold back in life? Do you have a dream of achieving something, but you're always making yourself a little bit smaller, or you're always waiting for the right time? What is this fixed mindset trying to protect you from? So we're not here to hate our fixed mindsets. They're here to protect us from the unknown, from discomfort, from potential danger. So we want to be very kind with ourselves and really acknowledge that this fixed mindset is trying to protect us from something. So I'll let you explore a few of those sessions, and then I will give the stage to a few of you to share that with us. It's not a race, but as soon as you're ready, if you want to speak up, please feel free to raise your hand. Yes, Marketa.
I'm happy to start. So I feel frustrated when I'm overthinking. I do something and then I think about it again and again and again and again and again, and I'm frustrated with doing that. So it's frustration with doubting myself as well. I catch myself sometimes not being kind to myself, as having this um, there's a self-doubting talk even in front of other people, which is very strange. So I love your idea that that frustration and that bad habit may be just a way of protecting myself from something, and I'm super curious and interested to learn what it is. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. So see, when we're doubting ourselves, we're putting ourselves, making ourselves a bit smaller than how we could be, because maybe we're protecting ourselves from success. Maybe we're protecting ourselves from failure. A lot of us, we're actually scared of success. We all want to be successful, but a lot of us are scared of being successful, because then it means you have to step up, you have to speak in front of people. When you go on your next level of success, then you have to show up and act like the successful person, and it is scary for everyone. So that's a very clear sign of our fears that are trying to protect us and keep us safe sometimes. Yes, Rishi, please speak up.
Thank you. So I get frustrated when my mom or dad compare with my same age boys, and obviously my brothers and sisters. And where do I complain is I complain uh, God, then my friends, means close friends, and obviously my girlfriend. Thank you.
Thank you. So when you complain to your friends and your girlfriend, do you complain about this, about being compared by your parents? Is that
Yes.
the main theme? Yeah, so see, that's very interesting. That's a sign. So I mean, obviously, I'm from what you're telling me, it's a sign of seeking external validation. As interactive human beings, we place a lot of value on what others say about us, what others think about us. And sometimes placing too much importance on what our parents think about us is creating fixed mindsets. Oh, my parents wanted to be an engineer, but I want to be an artist. And you're going to be an engineer your whole life just to make your parents happy. But, our parents are projecting their own fears on us because they're scared of us not being, successful, wealthy, etc. And it's not our duty to absorb their fears.
Same demand.
Yeah.
They all
Yeah.
want. They also want to be my engineer. So I ran it off.
So it's very valid to think about this and introspect a little bit about, why do I get so frustrated when my parents compare me to others? Is it hitting a painful spot? Do I feel vulnerable in that area that they're comparing me to other people? And why do I feel vulnerable about this? Is it about your behavior, your professional potential, about your intellectual potential? I don't know. But it's good to explore a little bit deeper. What is it hitting? And at the end of the day, it's not even about them. It's really about you. How can you change your relationship to that aspect of you that's being triggered and transform it into a strength and into something that's growing and thriving rather than something that hurts? because those fixed mindsets, which are actually kind of our pain points, if we kind of ignore them and repress them, we can keep living our lives. We're not going to die from it, but they're going to keep on coming back. And maybe in 20 years, you'll be in a position in a big company, and then someone will remind you of something your parents once said, and it'll trigger you so bad, and you can have some very violent reactions sometimes, or some strong emotional reactions from these things that we have not clearly identified. So yeah, very, very good and deep work. Yes, Rahul, please.
So I get frustrated of uncertainty. Like I made a plan and something else happens. Like my mom fails or certain financial situation occurs or certain uncertain events occur. So that's where my plan fails right at the beginning. And so that's where I get frustrated and I complain that to my mom. Like, what do I do? So she consoles me that try another time and it will happen rightly as you plan.
Very good, very good. Very good to identify uncertainty as a source of frustration. And we want to be kind with ourselves also. We're not robots. Being uncertain is normal. So finding this balance between I want to grow, but I'm also going to be kind with myself and accept this part of my journey. Great. Do we have maybe one lady who wants to speak up before we move on to the next session? Bring out the leadership skills in you. I know it's not comfortable to speak, but we're all very kind and loving here.
Gurmit, Akshar as well raised his hand for some time. So Akshar, do you want to share something?
Yeah, it was on those 6 questions actually. And since Guillemette actually pointed out one thing about an artist and being an engineer at the same time or something, I would like to share something about that. Like, I used to be into animation before, and so my parents actually let me explore that area where I actually wanted to, you know, go towards my passion. But there are certain things which I think somewhere or the other parents do care about. They have some premonitions about maybe where the offspring would go up till. What is the point up to which he can reach? What is his limitations? It's maybe I'm very thankful that somewhere or the other, wherever I'm right now, say for example, if I'm doing mechanical engineering right now, post having a way through animation and filmmaking field, I feel that somewhere or the other, uh, it becomes a bit difficult to determine between your passion and your profession.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes really difficult, and finding out a place where to actually find a harmonizing a point of a point where both of them harmonize together, passion and profession. It's a point which, if a person reaches up till, is a great thing to achieve. Maybe these 6 questions could help everyone out in here, lead to that harmonizing point.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Akshay. Actually, yes, it's really a trial and error. But exactly, like a fixed mindset will tell you, I need to choose between having a successful career or living from my passion. That's really a fixed mindset. Whereas, we live in an era, 21st century, everything is moving so fast. We live in an era where, who knows, engineering and animation maybe in are already, find a match together. And having this growth mindset is really about creating opportunities for yourself. Trying to live from your passion, it doesn't work out, gonna do something a bit more serious. It's not, I don't like it enough. And always, like the tree it hits a wall and it's gonna, it's gonna keep growing. It's not gonna try going in the wall. So it's not always easy blending this love plus, money plus career aspects. But this growth mindset is going to make everything happen more quickly and more fluidly when we're always trying and not seeing things as predetermined. So thank you so much for pointing that out. Yeah.
I think Supriyo sir also mentioned today that for us, it would be a bit different, a career path. We might be having two career paths more than just having one particular career path, sticking to one.
Oh,
So I think
absolutely.
maybe this could be a calling for two career paths at the same time. I don't know. Fingers
Absolutely.
crossed.
Absolutely. Yeah, maybe even more than two. Who knows? All right. So the problem is often with fixed mindsets that we lie to ourselves. So we tell ourselves that when our situation changes, then we'll be happy. We confuse being with having. We confuse knowing with doing. We always want to accumulate more knowledge when the secret is actually to do more things related to our vision of success. And we keep breaking our word to ourselves. Often when we have something that we care about, we're not going to be as committed as we say we're going to be. What's counterintuitive and what you all did wonderfully is that acknowledging our fixed mindset is not easy, but it makes people much more relatable. Rather than try to hide our pain point that we've identified, rather than trying to act like everything's okay, everything is under control, communicating with people, even in a professional setting, about areas where you might feel more vulnerable is actually a growth mindset attitude. I want to grow in this area. I'm willing to commit and to improve myself. So don't be afraid of opening up, even to your parents when you have difficulties with your parents, about areas that are painful or that are fixed mindsets, and opening up about wanting to develop them and to grow them into something more empowering for you. So reframing your mindset is about identifying that area of your life where you might have lied to yourself, that you're smaller or less powerful than you might think you are. So you guys can maybe take a screenshot of this if you want, or write it down to later work on it. To reframe your mindset, there's this little sentence that I like. So I have been lying that, you put your fixed mindset, when the truth is, the cost of that lie is, so what is it costing you to be smaller or more vulnerable than you could be? The cost of that lie is, what's been missing is, so those are the actions or the mindset that's missing. Moment to moment, I'm committing to being. So what's your daily moment to moment commitment to overcome this fixed mindset? All right. I'm going to be mindful of time, and we're going to talk a little bit about growth mindset now. So everything that we've discussed now that is holding a space in your head is going to slow you down. So don't keep this work on identifying your fixed mindsets and your vulnerabilities for later. The earlier you work on it, the sooner you can work on other deeper things and move ahead, because all these things that we're repressing are just going to keep holding us down until one day they're going to force us to look them in the eye. I love this quote from Star Wars: do or do not, there is no try. So we're not here to try to achieve something, we're here to do things. So I was gonna say I try, but in my daily life, I don't say I try anymore. I say, oh, I'm gonna do this, or I'm not gonna do this, but I try not to say. I don't say anymore, I'm gonna try to do this. So you can make this a part of your vocabulary. When you commit to something, you say, I will do this, or actually right now, I don't have the possibility of doing this. See if you can remove trying from your vocabulary, and even more than for other people, for yourself. Instead of saying, I'm going to try to become healthier, you say, no, from today, this is my commitment. I'm going to be living a healthier life. I'm not going to try, I'm going to do. This is a growth mindset. And there's an upward spiral of growth mindset, where as soon as you engage in this commitment and in this action, you start this upward spiral of growth. You believe you can develop any ability through dedication and hard work. And because of this belief, you have a desire to learn. It's really a self-nourishing act to start working on your growth mindset. I'm just going to mention something a bit more scientific than we've talked about so far, but there's neuroplasticity. There's been a lot of work and research about neuroplasticity these past few years. Your brain is not fixed. Every time you're learning something, whether it's a new skill, a new language, creating a new relationship, your brain is constantly creating new connections. So neuroplasticity is the capacity of neurons and neural networks in your brain to change their connections and behavior in response to new information, sensory stimulation, and development. So every time you're putting yourself in that mindset, in that framework, in this environment where you're being pushed to grow, to go out of your comfort zone, to think positively about your growth, you're recalibrating your brain and how it works. So it happens at the molecular level, and there's real physiological changes that happen within your brain. Just wanted to mention this. So now, when we have our fixed mindset, we want to transform it into a growth mindset. Did you know that you need 10,000 hours of deliberate focus and goal-oriented practice to become an expert at something? So maybe if you say, I'm not good at tennis, maybe you haven't committed those 10,000 hours of practice to tennis yet. So developing your growth mindset is about identifying where you can take necessary action. It can be a new challenge that you set for yourself. It can be learning from setbacks. Have I had some setbacks in my life recently, and how can I learn from them? It can be about persisting through discomfort. Imagine you're doing your homework and you're dying to check your phone, but no, you're going to say, I'm not going to check my phone until this assignment is done. I know how uncomfortable it is, and I know how addictive screens and phones can be, but this is a growth mindset, telling yourself my phone is 3 centimeters away from my hand, but I'm going to persist through the discomfort of not looking at it until I finish my assignment. Try that. And developing your growth mindset is also about forming daily habits. So it's not about moving mountains today, but if every day you become 1% better, in 1 year, you're 365% better than you are today. So it's really about creating a structure, a conscious and intentional structure for your growth. So I'm going to share with you now the growth mindset questions. I know we're a bit behind on time, and I don't want to take too much of your evenings. So I'm going to invite you to write these down and reflect on them, and you can share that with us over the coming week if you'd like to. So developing your growth mindset is identifying what you can learn from challenges that you're going through. Ideally, you can connect that to your fixed mindsets that we were talking about earlier. What can I learn from this challenge? Other question is, if I had a plan to be successful at something, so something that matters to you, what might that plan look like? So remember, a plan is something that is clear, that has very clear goals and clear objectives. What mistake have you made that taught you something? Developing a growth mindset is really about not being put aback by our failures, but really learning from them and bouncing back to bounce higher next time. What habits must you develop to continue towards your vision of success? And if there were no chance to fail, what would you try? So you can see this idea of growth mindset is really connected to your vision of success we saw at the beginning of the session, and also to your fixed mindsets, which are usually the areas in your life where you have more challenges or more setbacks. So write down those few questions. Like the previous ones, they're pretty deep, so you can really pick one or two and really go a bit deeper with it. You can write about it, go deeper and introspect and really see how much you can learn from this exercise. So I invite you to do this week. If you want to reflect a little bit more on your fixed mindset as well, this is a really good and fertile ground to build your tree. And I'd like to end the session with a quote that I love, which is, "The master has failed more times than the beginner has even tried." So let's just try. Anything that makes us uncomfortable is making us uncomfortable for a reason, which is that we have a lot to learn from it. Yes, if you have any questions, please feel free to speak up. We're here to hear you and answer any questions you may have. All good?
Superb.
Thank you, thank you. I'm
Yeah,
so happy to have you all on board.
hello. Yeah, there was just one question, sort of a technical one. I mean, for the following week, the joining event link would be sent through mail. I mean, do we have to do some other registration? Because today, apparently, the registration which I did, I hadn't got the link, so I had to get in touch with some.
Yeah, sure. So that question goes to me because I do that whole thing. No, you do not have to register anymore. It was just for the first timers, and I received your link, your video today only, and that is the reason it was for the first time. We are going to communicate it via WhatsApp group that we have created. I saw you're already a member, so you will get it from there. And then I'm also going to email no registration, directly join the meeting, and then you will be here. So simple as that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I will just add something. I want to thank so much, Kimet, for the beautiful session. I have myself learned so much. Wanted to also tell you that we basically try to have these sessions for 40 minutes. However, if you do a coaching or mentoring session with a professional coach, which, out there, as I said, there are plenty and pretty costly. And I'm quite happy that we have the privilege to work with Techno India and do this with you. Like they really like decided to invest into program and invest into you. So but we really need to make sure that they really will provide you with a value. So we will always be grateful for your feedback. So even if these sessions are supposed to be 40 minutes and they will be slightly longer, as long as you enjoy it, then please stay with us. If you need to leave, you can leave. Nobody will force or check whether you are here or not. This is really for you, and it's your time. Time is the most valuable thing you have. So if you decide to spend it otherwise, that's absolutely okay. However, if you believe there is someone else who could benefit from it, please encourage them still to submit their video to be accepted for the program and join us for these weekly sessions. So that's one thing. And one more thing I wanted to mention, I really appreciated Rishi's input on parents. And I actually want to tell you that, see, parents or our bosses or other people, like I have once heard, they are other people, they are not against you, they are for themselves. So whatever they are coming at you with, think about it as Grimet said as well, it's a reflection of themselves, and they probably want the best for you, but from their own perspective. And comparing to others, it's normal. We all do that, and social media force us doing that. And I grew up in the era where there were no social media, and I had to listen how all the cousins and colleagues, friends, kids did better than me. So it's always there, and probably it always will be. But then I heard this beautiful advice as well: don't compare yourself to others, but compare yourself to who you were yesterday, to you. So did you yesterday not maybe ran, and today you did ran? Did you not do something that you're doing today? That's what matters. So tomorrow, think again, what is it something I haven't done yesterday that I can do today? And again, just use yourself. It's enough to handle. So last but not least, if there is something that you believe out there is that irritates you, is it really that little magic that people can change, but it can take a lot of time, and you don't have the time to wait for it? So you may as well try changing yourself. So that's the best investment you can make, because otherwise you would just, grow old waiting. So don't wait. Use your time wisely, and don't be strict with yourself. Don't be too harsh on yourself. I learned that from Gwimet today, that I will be kinder to myself, and just not only try things, do things, and do them just slowly, one by one. Like every little counts. So even you just showing up today, you have already done something for yourself. Again, just thinking about it, it's already one thing. Now you have even done the doing. You already written something down. You have now some physical, evidence of doing something about it. You are related to others. We have here connected to each other. We are sharing. We are going through similar things in life. So we have these supporters there, and then hopefully we will be able to help someone else to pass on that message, and also help them to develop a growth mindset. So that's all from me. Thank you so much, Gwimet, for today's session, and thank you everyone for being here. Gunjan, for making us being here physically. It's possible. And guys, for sharing, showing up. Rahul, seeing your face is so nice. Akash, Rishi, everyone, the cameras, please use them. We would love to see you. And yeah, don't hesitate to interrupt. As I said, very safe environment. Aneshwa, also thank you for showing your camera. Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you for a
Malika.
lovely
Before
suggestion, ma'am.
guys, this is not end. I would need 2 minutes of yours. This is our regular regime. We have been doing this for years. Every time we come for this sort of sessions, we ask people to turn on their camera. I wanted everybody to please turn on your camera for 10 seconds only. I'm gonna take a screenshot. Again, it is just for our WhatsApp group. I'm not going to put anywhere else without your permission. So please, Akash, Sandhya, Deborati, Dipanjana, Rajshekhar, Karishma, everybody, Ishika as well. Please turn on your camera only for 10 seconds, one screenshot, and you can just go back. Nothing more. Thank you, Raj. Thank you, Ishika. Akash, Sandhya, Dipanjana. I'm waiting for you guys. Come on. 10 seconds. You can count it on me. Okay, Akash, it's just you are left. Do you want to do it? No? Okay, you don't want to do it? No problem. That's fine. Sandhya, do you want to do it?
I said my camera is already on.
It's already on, but we cannot see you.
Yes, ma'am. In the last meeting, I also on my camera, but in recorded format, I did not see my face.
Okay, then no problem. Sandhya, okay, cool. I can see everybody now. Give me 2 seconds. I'm taking the screenshot. Give me your best smiles, because this is going to be the memory for us. Okay, just keep on smiling. Just 2 seconds more. Lovely. I got it. Now, if you want to go back, feel free to go back. I have two more quick things with you. I'm just getting back on my thing. All right. I have taken the notes. Next week, we are coming again on the same time. Wanted to quickly check. This time is working for you guys, 7 p.m. Friday evening, or do you have any other options
No,
or
it is
any
fine.
suggestions? For Anvesha, it is working. For Akash, I think it is working. Friday, 7 o'clock, working for everybody. All right. Everybody is saying yes, yes, yes. So I'm gonna keep it as it is. Um, After this, you will also get your particular folders. We have created this allocated folders for you guys. So whatever activities you have been given, you will be putting all your stuff in your particular folders. You will get that through email. So when you get that email, acknowledge it. Just say me that okay, I received my folder, and then any help there, I would be happy to help you. For that, you would be needing your Microsoft account. So it is free account. You can just create your personal free Microsoft account, and then you will be able to check your folder because it is going to be created on Microsoft Suite. That is the one thing. WhatsApp group link is already there in the chat. So the people who have joined late, please check the chat. There is this WhatsApp group link. Join there because we will be communicating there. It is faster mode of communication. I'm anyway going to email, but that is like quick one to do that. Okay, it is about the assessment. Margita, do you want to say anything about the assessment now or maybe for the next call?
The word assessment must sound very scary and boring. So, as I was trying to indicate at the beginning, the way we want to do it is, as I said, it's more like if you would have your personal coach or a mentor, how these sessions are usually done, that you have like some sort of like a folder, either you use like a diary where you write things down, or you have like an app, and we are kind of working on some app to help us in the future. But for time being, we will just, each of you will have a personal folder on Microsoft account where you would just upload things for yourself. It's mainly for you, right? What we will like to do is create an Excel sheet for each of you, which only you will have access to, or whoever you allow to have access to. So you are in charge, you are in control, just like the videos that you have been submitting, those URL links. Remember, we told you do it as unlisted, so we can keep it. If you want to make it public, you can, but it's sort of, we are trying to create for each of you like a portfolio with documents. So at the end of these 5 weeks, you will look and you see, oh my God, I've done so much work for myself in terms of my growth, and I can always use this. I can reshare it. I can maybe make some cool materials on it on your Instagrams or whatever you like, or just share it with someone else and teach someone else. So that's just for you to have some sort of place where you put your stuff, your documents. In terms of assessment, it's more like at the end of this program, we will definitely want to do some big event, well, where we will meet all of you in person in Kolkata, and where we will definitely want to acknowledge you. We will, as I said, do some celebration. We will maybe hand you over some like certificates or memorabilia, things like that, just to sort of like, award ourselves for all the effort. Like, it's very important that if you sort of set a goal and do some activity, that at the end, there will be some award to sort of celebrate that we've done it. We did move. We have all found our A to B. We have moved from wherever we started. We have moved somewhere, wherever that was for you important, and we have achieved it together. So that will be there. So that folder just is to serve for you as an evidence of your work, and for us, we will be saying, okay, somebody is putting something there, so they're still there, they're still with us, they're on these sessions, so we will be then able to issue those invites for the event and celebrate together. So that's what it is. I hope it makes sense.
Thank you, Marketa. Thank you, Gurmit. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Next Friday, again, same timing. Be ready with your pen and paper. Be ready with your questions, and we will be back soon. Till then, we have WhatsApp group. We are going to communicate there. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Have a
you,
nice
ma'am.
weekend. Have a nice evening. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Good night.
Bye, ma'am.
Almost.